In this video, we're going to focus on the generation of a random color. The first thing we're going to do is to generate the clicked event for this button. Then, let's indicate that we want to generate an event handler for the clicked event. We're going to go to the code behind, and as part of this event handler, I am going to define a variable called random that is equal to a new instance of the random class that is going to allow us to generate random values. I'm going to define a variable called color, and I'm going to use once again the class called color.fromRGB to be able to generate a random color with a random values. Let's pass as the first value random.next, and the lowest value will be the value 0, and the highest number will be 256, because as you can see in the description part, it tells us that this value is going to be excluded from the generation of values. I am going to copy this line 2 more times, and this way we will be able to generate a color from random values within a range of 0, and it must be 256. Once we have the new color, we can invoke again the method called setColor, passing the color that has been randomly generated. Let's test how the application looks like. I'm going to proceed to press this button and notice how successfully we are already generating a random color. Here, what we have to do is to also set the value of each of the sliders, since currently we only generate the color. How can we do this? Well, I'm going to proceed to stop the project one more time, and after invoking the setColor method, I'm going to proceed to indicate sldred.value is equal to color dot, and I'm going to get only the red color. I'm going to do the same for each of the sliders. The advantage of this code is that directly we're going to obtain a value compatible with the values of the slider, since the slider accepts values from 0 to 1, and it is precisely the value that we're going to provide each of these fields. Let's proceed to test the application to see how the change we have applied works. Let's press the button and see how the values of each of the sliders are already being modified. It would appear that this is working correctly. However, I'm going to do something for you to see if it's working right or not. I'm going to go to the method called setColor, and I'm going to indicate that I want to use the book dot, we have to import the namespace system.diagnostics, and I'm going to use the writeLine method, passing as a parameter the value color.toString, so you can see how many times the setColor method is executed. Let's start the application once again. I'm going to press the button. I'm going to go to the output window, and as part of the output you can see that the method has been executed multiple times, even though we pressed the button only once. What is happening with the code is that once we set one of these values, it automatically invokes the event that carries out the execution of the setColor method. We must find a way to avoid invoking this method in case we don't need it. For this, I will proceed to create a new field as part of the application. I'm going to indicate that it is of Boolean type. We're going to call it isRandom. We're going to go back to the event, and we're going to set the isRandom property to be set to true when we start the execution of the clicked event. And once the logic of the clicked event execution finishes, we're going to return the value to false. Finally, we're going to go to the event that is in charge of monitoring each one of the values of the slider, and we're going to indicate that before carrying out the execution of these assignments, we're going to compare the variable isRandom. Let's cut this code inside the if, and this way we're going to make sure that this code is only going to be executed when we have not fired the clicked event. Let's start once again the execution of the application. I click on this button, let's go to the output, and you can see that we are already executing the method only once, with which we have solved this problem that we had previously.